My dear child, I know you are tired. I know you have been waiting for a sign that actually means something. So let me say this slowly, soul to soul. God whispered your name today, and Archangel Michael, he's been begging heaven for just 1 minute of your time because the moment you have been silently praying for is happening tonight at 9 p.m. But here is the twist that will shake you deeply. You are standing at the door of a life-changing $55 million miracle. And if you close this message too soon, you will not even know you missed it. Yes, God said, today is the transfer, but heaven is watching if you will open your hands or walk away. Beloved soul, this is not some random message. You were pushed to see this for a reason. God made sure your spirit paused at this exact moment, because while the world is spinning unaware, a divine wire has been sent in the spiritual realm, one that carries the vibration of abundance, justice, music, and restoration. Michael has seen the pain you have been hiding behind your smile. He knows how long you have carried that dream with no one believing in it but you. But listen carefully now. This is not just a message. This is a moment, music, glowing star. Before we go on, let me softly say this with love. If your heart feels even a tiny spark, if your soul says, wait, this feels different, then pause for a moment and make sure you subscribe right now so you never miss another message, music meant for only you. Because Michael is choosing who to alert next and you are on the list. Do not skip it. That one click could hold the next miracle in your inbox. Glowing star. Now breathe, because I need to tell you something raw and holy. God has released a money miracle. Not just a trickle. Not some maybe one-day blessing, but $55 million worth of divine justice that was stolen from you. Whether through generational blocks, past life oaths, or earthly betrayals. And heaven finally said, enough. At 9 p.m. tonight, Archangel Michael says, music. Your name will be spoken in the spirit realm. It is a spiritual transfer. It is not coming from a bank. Music. It is not coming from a human. It is coming from the hand of God himself. And guess what? The moment your name is called, if your heart is not in agreement, it passes you by and someone else takes it. That is why Michael is pleading. Do not ignore this. Do not walk away. Do not scroll, because this time it is you. You have been skipped over long enough. You have watched others walk into blessings you only dreamed of. You have smiled at their wins while secretly wondering, when is it going to be my turn? Tonight, heaven says it is your turn, but only if you respond. And no, this is not about luck. This is about prophecy. It has been written for years, buried under the noise of your heartbreak and betrayal. But the angel assigned to release it just arrived. Michael says there were forces trying to delay this, stop this transaction from reaching your soul. But they failed because you did not give up, and because your spirit was brave enough to wait for this message. So now I'm going to ask you, can you feel it? That energy rising in your chest, that sudden warmth, that is not coincidence, that is confirmation. If you shut this window now, the miracle rewinds, the scroll closes, and the next person is chosen. Clears throat, but if you choose to stay, to believe for just 1 minute more, then a divine gate is opening in your name. The number is real, $55 million. But it is not just about the money. It is about the symbol of restoration. It is about the recognition of what was stolen from your bloodline. Tonight you will receive the first sign. It may come through a dream, a notification, a random email, or a stranger's words. But make no mistake, you are being watched. Heaven is checking if you will act or delay. Michael says, if you open this message with faith, you trigger a divine unlocking. But if you treat this like just another message, you cancel the angel's mission with your own disbelief. God said, I am not forcing it, I am offering it. That is why this message did. Music, not shout. It came gently, just like heaven always does when it is testing obedience. Now breathe again, because something is happening around you right now. Your energy is shifting, the gates are swinging open, and your name is echoing through a realm you cannot yet see, but your spirit can feel. Stay with me. Do not skip. You are almost at the moment where your breakthrough becomes physical. All right, music, close the door behind you, because what I'm about to say now, only your spirit will understand. It is the kind of truth that bypasses logic and goes straight into your bones. Tonight is not just a night. It is the return of everything they said you would never have, and God is tired of watching you suffer in silence. If this is already landing somewhere, music real for you, I want you to take a moment right now. Like this video, music, as your first act of agreement with what is being named. Subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell so that every message prepared for you finds you at the right moment. And go to the link in the pinned comment below. By sowing into this mission, you are helping carry this kind of word to others who are still in the middle of chaos, still learning that their peace is more powerful than any reaction. What you give comes back to you as more of the very calm being described. The link is pinned. Give when your spirit says yes, and then music stay, because there is still more ahead. Archangel Michael says there was a spiritual meeting in heaven regarding you, just music 3 days ago. Yes, about you, not your neighbor, not your cousin, not someone more qualified. You, because there is an unclaimed blessing that has been held in escrow for years. It was not denied. It was delayed because there were people around you who would have destroyed you the moment you touched it. So God had to hide it until your spirit matured, until your heart stopped begging for crumbs from the wrong hands. And now you are finally ready. You have crossed the line. You have walked through fire. You did not give up. And now heaven is not only celebrating, it is activating. Let me make this clear. The $55 million it is spiritual compensation. And when heaven begins restoring what financial struggle has taken from you, it may also place a simple path in front of you to help you walk forward with prayer, wisdom, and clear action. My child, I see the struggle you have been facing, the stress about finances, the silent worries that stay in your heart, and the moments where you feel uncertain about what comes next. You have been asking for peace, and that answer is already on its way. You are not meant to stay stuck in fear. You are meant to walk forward with purpose, with faith, and with clear music steps every day. And as you continue taking steps in faith, remember that God has seen every painful moment that brought you to this point. For every time you were laughed at, for every time you were left out, for every time someone made you feel like your dreams were too big, God saw it. He heard what they said behind your back. He watched you cry into your pillow while still waking up every day to try again. And now God is saying, tell my chosen one, if they just hold on till 9 p.m., if they stay in alignment, if they open their heart fully, I will pour out a blessing that will break generational chains. You think it is a coincidence that you are reading this right now. Number, you have been divinely interrupted because heaven is testing your response. If you ignore this, the miracle will pause. If you receive this, your life will split into before and after this night. This is a wealth gate, and it has your name carved in gold. Michael says they tried to block it. Demons were assigned to distract you, to make you question your worth, to keep you stuck in guilt, shame, and fear. But even the darkness is trembling now because you, music, made it this far. And if you think money does not matter to heaven, remember this. It is not about greed. It is about purpose. It is about what you will do with it. You were chosen to receive large wealth because your hands will not waste it. God said this soul will use it to build, to heal, to free others, to restore families, to shift nations. But you have to pass this moment. You have to choose to believe that this message did not show up by accident. You have to say yes before the clock hits 9 p.m., because after 9 p.m., the angel assigned to your breakthrough will leave and the door closes again. You have no idea how long this angel's been fighting to get this through. You almost missed it yesterday, or you almost skipped it last week. But something in your soul said, stay a little longer, read a little deeper. That was not you. That was the Holy Spirit nudging you, because God is serious about this one. This is not a test run. This is the moment. And yes, there are people who will scoff at this. There are people who will not understand your fire, but that is okay. They were not called you. You are the one that heaven has been whispering about, the one the enemy has tried to destroy since birth, because the wealth on your name is not normal. It is supernatural. It is the kind of wealth that heals bloodlines. And that is why you face so many battles, because hell knew that if you ever accessed it, everything would change. And now it is trembling because you are closer than ever. But here is the part no one else will tell you. This blessing requires your permission. God will never force it. He needs a full yes. Not a maybe, not a half-open heart, but a yes. So loud the angels can move into position. Can you do that? Can you trust what your spirit is saying? Even if your mind is scared, let me tell you what I see in the spirit. If these words are already doing something real inside you, I want to invite you to respond right now, like this message as your first act of agreement with what God is placing in your heart. Subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell so that Music, every message prepared for you finds you at exactly the right moment, and go to the link in the pinned comment below. By sowing into this mission, you are helping carry this kind of tender, honest word to hearts that are still in the pressure, still wondering if the resistance means they are wrong. What you give comes back to you as the very steadfastness and peace being described. The link is pinned. Give when your spirit says yes, and then stay, because there is still more ahead. I see vaults opening. I see your name glowing on scrolls. I see your music photo laid on an altar with flames around it. I see Michael's sword drawn, ready to cut down every demon that stood in your way. I see $55 million wrapped in golden light, waiting to find its final home. And I see one word stamped across the envelope: approved. But God will not release it without your agreement, because He is a God of honor. He will never invade a heart that does not invite Him. So you are being asked now, will you believe? Will you receive? Or will you declare, this is my miracle, this is my moment, I receive it fully, and I say yes? Because if you do, something will shift within the next 6 hours. Your name will be spoken in the mouths of people you have never met. Doors that were closed will swing open without explanation, and you will know that you just passed the most sacred test of your life. This is the kind of night you will tell your future children about, the kind of moment where God rewrites the story, the kind of blessing that makes you cry in the shower and whisper, I knew you did not forget me. And He did not for 1 second. All right, take a deep breath and hold it just for a moment, because what comes next is not just divine, it is holy, it is rare, and it is about you. Listen closely. There is a sacred silence in heaven that only happens when a major shift is about to occur. Right now, as your eyes touch these words, angels have stopped singing. Why? Because you are about to be chosen publicly for what God has been preparing you for privately. There is an ancient scroll wrapped in fire and sealed with gold that has been untouched for generations. Not because it was not ready, but because the person it was meant for had not arrived in full readiness. That scroll carries your name. It carries the blueprints to a destiny so big even you have not dared to dream it fully. Archangel Michael is holding that scroll right now. He stood before the throne and said, Father, is it time yet? And heaven, after centuries of silence, finally said, yes, the scroll is your inheritance. It is not just the $55 million in money. It is the value, your purpose. It is the wealth tied to your vision. It is the abundance tied to your voice, your gifts, your obedience. You see, while others were chasing popularity, you were in the quiet places trying to survive. While others posted highlight reels, you were weeping between prayers. No one heard while others built empires from ego. You were learning the language of faith, one silent battle at a time. And now heaven says that was never wasted. Not one tear, not one sacrifice, not one midnight surrender. You have passed tests in silence that would have broken kings. You have loved music, people who left you bleeding. You have walked away from things your flesh wanted because your spirit knew better. And that beloved soul is why music, the blessing, is yours. Because heaven does not reward perfection. It rewards purity. Music, it rewards resilience. It rewards the soul who kept walking when everything said quit. Tonight, your name will rise in the spirit realm. And it is not rising alone. It is rising with favor, with justice, with a divine alarm that says the hour of divine payback has come. Michael is standing by a spiritual gate. Music, it is guarded. Not everyone can access it, but your name, it has the access code burned into it. You have been tested, refined, processed, and tonight is your moment of release. But here is the sacred warning. If your heart is not present, if your spirit is not open, the gate closes at 9 p.m. sharp. No second chances. Not this time, because this is not just another window. This is the final gate of this cycle. There has been a pattern in your life. Every time something good comes close, something suddenly crashes it. Every time a door opens, someone sabotages it. Every time your hopes rise, betrayal walks in. Michael says that was never coincidence. That was a spiritual strategy to keep you tired, discouraged, and doubting your own light. Because hell knew if you ever aligned fully, if you ever stood up and said, I will not miss what God has for me again, then the chains would shatter, the contracts would cancel, and the wealth would release. Tonight is the night you cancel the pattern. Tonight is the night you say, no more delays, no more sabotage, no more false starts. Tonight is the night you say, I receive it all and I will not lie to you. This blessing will cost you music, something. It will cost you your old mindset. It will cost you your fear. It will cost you the comfort of small dreams, because $55 million is not for the timid. It is for the bold. It is for the ones who know they were sent here for more. This wealth is not random. It is assigned to the soul who will use it for good, for healing, for legacy, for light. You are that soul, and heaven is watching your response. Every second you remain in belief, you are expanding the size of what is coming. Every doubt you remove is like another wall collapsing. Every time you whisper, I trust you, God, another angel moves closer. Right now there is a sound in the spirit, a trembling music, because chains are falling off your name. Deaths are dissolving. Enemies are being silenced, and destiny is coming forward unashamed. Undeniable. God says, I will not let another take what belongs to my chosen one. Not this time, not anymore. He is standing at the edge of music, your future, holding a flaming sword in one hand and the scroll in the other. And he is, music, begging you, please do not let fear stop you. Do not let disbelief close your hands. You were born for this. Or you feel it, do not you. That tingling in your hands, that pressure in your chest, that is the presence of music, the angel, that is the energy of the miracle forming. Do not rush. Sit in it, soak in it, because everything you have ever asked God for is now asking for you. Yes, let us continue, and this time let us go even deeper into the part of your story that no one else has ever fully understood. Because what is coming to you tonight is not just money, it is redemption. It is God saying, I remember when they laughed. I remember how they doubted your vision. I remember how they told you to be realistic, but I did not give you a realistic dream. I gave you a prophetic music one. Heaven is rewarding the you that kept going when nobody clapped. The you that poured out love while secretly hoping someone would just notice your heart. The you that gave and gave and gave until you had nothing left but prayer. And even then you whispered, God, I trust you. Even now, even still, that trust, that one fragile mustard seed of belief, it reached heaven. It passed through clouds of doubt, through winds of fear, through storms of silence, and it finally hit the throne of God. And God said, now release the reward. So when Archangel Michael says $55 million is arriving at 9 p.m., it is not just a number. It is prophetic proof that the unseen is becoming seen, that the prayers you thought God ignored were being wrapped in gold, that the delays were actually divine preparations for something so massive. You would have crumbled under it last year, and now your spirit is strong. Now your soul is aligned. Now your heart is purified by fire. And now the angels are coming not to comfort you, but to crown you. Let me explain what is happening in the unseen. Your name has been spoken in the heavens' wealth chambers. And right now, one specific angel is being dispatched with your delivery. Not just in spirit, but physical confirmation. It could show up through a call, a bank update, a mysterious deposit, an unexpected music gift, a signed contract, a total reversal. But Michael says it will arrive, and when it does, do not hesitate. Do not downplay it. Do not reject the miracle you have been praying for. This is important because you have been conditioned to expect little, to not get your hopes up, to pretend you are okay with just enough. But heaven is saying no more survival. Now it is time to thrive. And moving from survival into a more peaceful life often begins when faith is joined with clear, practical steps, taken one day at a time. My child, I see the weight you have been carrying, the quiet worries about money, the stress you rarely speak about, the nights when your mind refuses to rest. Music, you have been praying for peace, and your prayers have been heard. You are not meant to walk this journey in confusion and fear. You are meant to walk with faith, with clarity, and with daily direction. And as you begin releasing the habits and music fears that kept you in survival, prepare your heart for the new season opening before you. This level of breakthrough is going to feel too big. You will question if you are worthy, if you are ready, if it is real. But those are old thoughts, and old thoughts do not belong in new seasons. You have to walk into this blessing like you have already held it in your hands in a dream, because God gave you glimpses, moments where you saw yourself happy, free, provided for. If this is already landing somewhere real for you, I want you to take a moment right now. Like this video as your first act of agreement with what is being named. Subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell. so that every message prepared for you finds you at the right moment, and go to the link in the pinned comment below. By sowing into this mission, you are helping carry this kind of word to others who are still in the middle of chaos, still learning that their peace is more powerful than any reaction. What you give comes back to you as more of the very calm being described. The link is pinned. Give when your spirit says yes, and then stay, because there is still more ahead. Those were not fantasy. Those were previews, and now the full version is arriving. There are 3 things you need to do before 9 p.m. Open your heart. Or let go of doubt. Let go of fear. Say yes out loud. Agree with heaven. Speak it. Claim it. Own it. Heaven moves on declaration. Stay expectant. The miracle is on a timer. Do not let low energy or distractions steal your alignment. Tonight is not like other nights. There is a holy countdown happening. And once it reaches 0, a door opens that has been sealed for decades, music, maybe centuries. And behind that door is the life you always sensed was yours. The life that felt distant, unreachable until now. The $55 million is not just a number. It is confirmation of identity, because only someone divinely trusted receives this kind of abundance. You are not just anyone. You are a spiritual architect, a generational rebuilder, a vessel of wealth with a mission for global impact. And it starts the moment you stop doubting and say, God, I receive it all. No fear, no resistance, no turning back. I am ready. Archangel Michael is still here watching, listening, guarding this moment from any last-minute interference, because he knows how close you are. He knows how many times you were almost destroyed before you got here. But you made it, and for that, heaven is celebrating. Music, you. So if you're still reading this, then your soul already said yes, and the miracle is already on its way. Then come closer, because what is about to be said next may be the most important message your soul ever hears. You see, there are moments in life when heaven stops everything, when the angels stop singing, when the Spirit stops whispering to the crowd and speaks music directly to one person. That person is you. Yes, you. Because for years your name has been circling heaven. But every time your blessing was about to break through, something blocked it. Or someone gossiped, someone lied, someone did witchcraft, someone who was jealous tried to tie up your name in invisible knots. They were not attacking your money, they were attacking your identity, because they knew who you were before you did. But Archangel Michael saw it all. He stood beside you when no one else stood up for you. And today he is fighting like never before. Because this is not just a breakthrough, this is a heavenly refund. Everything you were denied is returning. Everything you lost is reappearing. Everything that was locked is being forcefully reopened. And tonight at 9 p.m., the biggest financial portal over your life will activate, but only if your heart is still open, not halfway open, not I hope so open. Fully, because heaven does not work with hesitation. It works with conviction. Faith so loud it drowns out every voice of lack. Faith so strong even angels pause to listen to the fire inside you. This message, these words, this very moment is part of a divine test, one that is being recorded. Yes, recorded. Because God is not just watching what you say out loud, He is watching what you think in private. He is watching if you dare to believe that $55 million is not impossible, because for Him it is not even difficult. God does not blink at big numbers. He created gold. He created the earth. Do you really think transferring a small portion of His abundance to you would be hard? No. The challenge is not heaven's ability to give. It is your ability to receive. And that is why Michael is begging. Do not miss this. Do not reason it away. Do not talk yourself out of it like you've done so many times before. Do not let logic destroy your miracle. God says, I chose you for this because I could trust you with it. Because I saw how you handled small and stayed faithful. Because I saw how you gave your last. How you kept praying when your heart was breaking. How you protected others while you were secretly falling apart. I saw it all, and now I will repay. Tonight is spiritual recompense. That number, $55 million. It is coded with everything you did not receive when you should have. It holds the value of prayers from your childhood. It holds the years you lost waiting for someone to love you correctly. It holds the weight of the dreams you, music, buried so you would not feel disappointed again. But God says, I never forgot, and I never changed my mind about you. Archangel Michael has cleared the air around you. Chains that were tied to your family line are being broken as you read. Evil eyes are going blind. Wicked mouths are going mute. Financial oppression is being lifted, and a divine flow is being turned on. But listen, you must stay in agreement, because the moment you allow fear to rise, the flow slows down. Not because God stops loving you, but because fear clogs the channel. So tonight, you are not allowed to fear. You are not allowed to settle. You are not allowed to say, I do not deserve it, because God says, who are you to deny what I have approved? This is bigger than money. This is about restoring the very image of God in you. This is about heaven showing the world what favor looks like. This is about divine justice finally being carried out on earth through you. Way, music. People treated you. They thought they got away with it. But God has been watching. And he does not just restore, he multiplies the restoration. What you thought would come back as a small blessing, he is bringing back in full, overflowing, radical abundance. He is not returning what was stolen. He is giving you interest on the pain. The time you spent waiting was not lost, it was invested. And tonight at 9 p.m., the returns hit your account. That is why this message had to reach you now, not later. Because every second after this moment, it is sacred, or it is measured, and the angels have their eyes only on you. Heaven is watching if you dare to believe fully, boldly, loudly, not just in words, but in energy, in posture, in silence, in expectation. Right now, as you read this, a spiritual key is turning. A code is being entered. The vault is opening. And a $55 million miracle is starting to move. You do not have to see it yet. You just have to feel it. And if you feel that pull in your chest, that pressure behind your eyes, that silent scream of, please let this music be real, then this is for you. It has been for you all along. Then let us keep going, because we are stepping into the final stretch of the miracle's manifestation. And now that you have come this far, Archangel Michael says, you are standing at the gate. And before you, music, go, there is one final thing I want to ask of you. If this message has confirmed what you have been quietly living for a long time, if it has named the strategy you never had language for, honor that with an act of faithfulness. Go to the link in the pinned comment below. Plant a seed. Give what your heart says to give. A coffee, a small offering, whatever feels right. Because what you sow into a mission that carries this kind of honest, grounding word to the next person who is still deciding between engaging and walking away, returns to you as more of the very peace you have been protecting. And share this with someone you know who has been in the middle of chaos and needs to hear today that their yawn, their turn back, their quiet refusal to react. That was the move. The link is pinned. So keep building music, keep growing, keep protecting your peace. Not because you want to prove anyone wrong, but because you finally understand that your energy is valuable. Your time is precious, and your life deserves your music. Full attention. God bless you. Do not turn back now. Heaven is on high alert right now. Do you feel that tug in your spirit, that soft trembling in your chest? It is not anxiety. It is not coincidence. It is the vibration of a blessing pressing against the veil of the unseen. A veil that is moments away from tearing open. And when it tears, it will not be quiet. It will not be soft. It will be the kind of blessing that makes noise in the natural realm. People will call you. Doors will swing open without you knocking. Accounts will shift, numbers will change, faces will stare in shock, and all you will be able to whisper is, I waited and it came. Michael says the enemy has one last trick, and that is to distract you right before the release, to make you music, doubt this word, to make you walk away from the page, to say, maybe tomorrow. But listen to me, there is no tomorrow in the realm of the spirit when it comes to tonight's blessing. There is only now, because this kind of gate only opens once in a spiritual cycle, and the cycle is closing tonight. Do not let your natural eyes rob you of what your spirit already knows. You were not crazy for dreaming big. You were not wrong for believing more. They called it delusion, but God calls it prophecy. They said you needed to be more practical, more realistic, but heaven says your realism was never meant to replace my miracles. You were called to walk in the impossible, to hold what others could not even imagine, to rise from places where others collapsed and never returned. And that is why the $55 million was assigned to you, because only you would carry it with honor, with vision, with compassion. You do not want money just to show off. You want to build. You want to rescue. You want to restore. You want to be the miracle in someone else's prayer. That is why you are dangerous to darkness. That is why they tried to make you give up, but you did not. You stayed. And God took notes every moment of silence where you still praised. Music, hymn. He remembered every sacrifice you made when no one said thank you. He remembered every lonely birthday, every rejection email, every fake friend, every night you went to bed, hoping maybe next month will be better. He remembered it all. And now music says, this child will lack nothing again. You have entered the era of no more almost, no more close calls, no more half breakthroughs, no more being passed over. The mantle has officially shifted onto your name. But let me tell you what will happen if you skip this. If you walk away too soon, if you say this sounds too good to be true, the angels will wait. But they will not wait forever because this word has a timer. And when the clock hits 9 p.m., it either arrives in your life or it is rooted. And it does not matter how much you cry later because the blessing does not respond to tears. It responds to alignment, to timing, to trust. That is why Michael keeps repeating, music, open your heart. Stay ready, do not delay. There are already shifts in your field. People are thinking about you right now who have not spoken to you in years. Your name is being mentioned in rooms you have never stepped into. Someone is looking at your photo in silence, wondering how to reach out. You do not see it yet, but something holy is swirling around you, and it is no longer waiting for permission. It is just waiting for your full. Yes, the transaction has been approved in heaven, and now the funds, the favor, the power are in transfer. This is a live transmission, a spiritual wire, and once it completes, your reality will never be the same again. You will weep not because you are broken, but because you are finally seen. You will laugh not because it is funny, but because you remember who you are again. You will give not because you are forced, but because you now overflow. God did not call you here just to survive. He called you to shine, to stand out, to set the example for what divine reversal looks like. This is your story now. Not the story of the one who almost made it, but the one who rose at the final hour, believed fully, and received everything they were promised. And the time, music, it is getting closer. The angels are lining up. The scroll is unrolling. The countdown is real. Michael's sword is drawn. Your vault is trembling. The world will be quiet when it happens. But inside your soul, there will be an explosion, a holy shaking, a flood of tears, a cry of, he did it, or he really did it. Then close your eyes just for a moment, because as I write this next part, something sacred is drawing closer to you. You may not hear it with your ears, but your spirit hears it clearly. A divine thunder, a quiet roar, a heavenly rustling of angel wings. The realm of the unseen is no longer far. It is brushing against your shoulders. It is walking through the halls of your house. It is sitting beside you as you breathe through this moment. And Archangel Michael says again, louder now, this is it. Do not let it slip. Do not doubt it now. Our heaven has never been this clear. God has music, never leaned in this close. The power moving into your life is not just a blessing. It is an explosion of everything you were ever meant to be. Can you feel that heat, that tingling, that pressure building around your chest? That is not stress. That is the opening. That is the gate parting. That is the signature of heaven sealing the music scroll in your name. You were not born for the background. You were never created to be a footnote in someone else's story. God crafted you for fullness, for glory, for legacy. And that is why the number is so specific. $55 million, music, not a vague promise, not symbolic. It is precise because God wanted you to know this was not written for someone else. It is not generic. It is your divine confirmation. There are spiritual deposits tied to that number, blessings your ancestors never got to touch, ideas buried in your lineage, waiting for someone bold enough to activate them, dreams passed from generation to generation until they reach the one person who would not bury them in fear. That person is you. The angels are not guessing anymore. They are assigning positioning, locking coordinates into your atmosphere. Music and the currency is not just gold. It is honor. It is restoration. It is divine reputation. You are not being blessed because you asked. You are being blessed because you survived, because you did not fold, because you kept showing up when it made no sense. God saw you when no one clapped. He watched you give when your own hands were empty. He saw you love when your own heart was bleeding. And he waited for the moment when your heart would finally whisper, I am ready. This is that moment. And this is your reward. Not just because you prayed, but because you passed, because you broke cycles, because you forgave when you could have cursed, because you walked away from easy shortcuts and chose the path of truth. Heaven is not handing you this out of pity. Heaven is crowning you out of prophecy, and that is why Michael is fighting with his full army tonight, because hell is afraid of your hands touching what was always yours, because when you touch it, you will not just spend it. You will build nations, yes, nations. This is bigger than rent. This is bigger than bills. This is spiritual legislation being written in your favor. Laws are shifting. Policies are cracking. Systems are trembling because a chosen one is stepping into place. And when the transaction hits, do not be surprised if your body shivers, if your phone lights up, if someone calls from out of nowhere, if tears fall for no reason, if the air in your room suddenly shifts. It is not magic. It is manifestation. It is what happens when spiritual obedience meets divine music timing. Michael says, this is your wealth window. The others were practice. This one is prophecy. At exactly 9 p.m., something irreversible begins. And if your heart is aligned, if you say yes without fear, the angels will not just deliver the money, they will deliver the mission tied to it. You will dream different. You will speak different. You will walk like someone who knows they are carrying the hand of God in their pocket. But only if you believe, only if you stay in agreement, only if you do not exit early. Because right now, this very second, your name is echoing. It is being, music written, it is glowing, and the Spirit is whispering. Do not stop here. You are almost there. Stay soft. Stay open. Do not rush back into noise. Let this holy silence baptize your mind. You have just received a message most will never get. You have just been given access most will only dream about. You have just had your scroll unlocked and your soul knows it. Do not go back to small prayers. Do not go back to maybe next year. As we near the end, thank you for staying with this message. If you would like to support this channel, you can leave a tip on the link. The link is in the description and pinned in the comments. If this helped you, subscribing helps too. Either way, thank you for being here. Music, do not go back to scraping through your days. Not when heaven just said, I approve of this one. Bless them without limit. This is your confirmation. This is your covering. This is your closing. The final gate is now opening. And what happens in these last few moments will echo through the rest of your life. Stay still, stay surrendered. And when the clock hits 9, welcome home to the miracle you never gave up on. And before you go, beloved, remember that these messages continue because of the kindness and support of people like